In the basement of the IBM Zurich lab, and deep within the high-security clean rooms of Google's Sycamore project, there is a list of forbidden items. You'll find the obvious ones: magnets, unshielded cell phones, and high-frequency radio transmitters. But at the very top of that list, guarded by protocols more stringent than those used for nuclear silos, is the domestic cat. To the uninitiated, it's a matter of hygiene. They tell you it's about dander and fur clogging the cooling systems. But that is the corporate lie. In 2026, the declassified truth is far more terrifying. A cat is not just a pet. In the world of quantum mechanics, a cat is a biological static battery. It is a walking EMP capable of collapsing a billion-dollar quantum superposition with a single flick of its tail. Today, we go inside the forbidden protocol to discover why the future of human computing is deathly afraid of the feline. To understand the threat, you have to understand the qubit. Unlike the binary chips in your phone, a quantum computer operates in a state of superposition. It exists in multiple states at once, performing calculations that would take a traditional supercomputer 10,000 years. But there is a catch: superposition is incredibly fragile. Scientists call it decoherence. The slightest vibration, the tiniest change in temperature, or a single stray electron can cause the entire system to crash back into reality. This is why quantum computers are kept inside dilution refrigerators at temperatures colder than deep space. They are the most sensitive ears ever built by man. And into this world of absolute silence walks the ultimate bringer of noise, the cat. Every time a cat moves, it is generating a massive, invisible field of energy. This is the triboelectric effect. Feline fur is one of the most efficient producers of static electricity in the biological world. A cat's fur is engineered to shed electrons. When a cat rubs against a surface, it isn't just showing affection. It is loading the battery. In a standard household, this static is a minor nuisance, a tiny spark when you touch their nose. But in a quantum environment, that spark is a supernova. A single discharge of static electricity from a feline's coat carries enough electromagnetic interference to knock every qubit in a 50-foot radius out of entanglement. The secret 2024 report on quantum sabotage identified the domestic cat as the only passive biological weapon, capable of neutralizing a quantum-encrypted network without leaving a digital footprint. But the physical static is only half the story. There is a deeper, more noir reason for the ban. It's called the observer effect. In quantum physics, the act of looking at a particle changes its behavior. It forces the wave function to collapse. For decades, physicists joked about Schrödinger's cat, the cat that is both dead and alive in a box. But in 2026, the joke has turned into a nightmare. New research into feline retinal processing suggests that cats don't see the world like we do. Their eyes are optimized to detect the fluctuations in the vacuum, the very same fluctuations that quantum computers use to calculate. If a cat enters a quantum lab, it isn't just a physical threat. Its very observation, the way it processes the high-frequency environment, might be enough to collapse the quantum state. They aren't just forbidden because of their fur. They are forbidden because they are quantum observers by nature. We have to look at the history of these cleanroom protocols. In the early 1990s, during the first iterations of superconducting circuits, there was an incident at a private research facility in New Mexico. The records are heavily redacted, but the internal memos speak of a Level 5 decoherence event. For 3 days, the most advanced processor on the planet refused to hold a state. The engineers checked the shielding, the power supply, and the liquid helium levels. Everything was perfect. It wasn't until they checked the security footage that they found the culprit. A stray cat had found its way into the ventilation system and was sleeping directly above the cooling stack. The static field generated by the cat's fur was leaking through the lead shielding like it wasn't even there. That was the day the feline ban became absolute. This vulnerability leads us to the shielding gap. Modern quantum labs use what are called mu-metal shields to block out Earth's magnetic field. They use lead-lined walls to block out radio waves. But static electricity from a biological source is chaotic. It doesn't follow the predictable patterns of a radio tower or a power line. It pulses with the movement of the animal. When a cat grooms itself, it is essentially tuning its static output. To a quantum computer, this looks like a sophisticated multi-frequency jamming attack. In the tech industry, they call this the feline interference vector. It's the reason why, if you look at the floor plans of the world's leading Q labs, you'll see airlock-style entries that aren't just for dust. They are designed to neutralize any potential biological static load. As we move toward a world powered by quantum encryption, the divide between nature and tech is growing. We are building a future that cannot tolerate the static of the natural world. The ban on cats in these facilities is the first sign of a bio-digital segregation. We are choosing a world of perfect silicon over the chaos of biological life. Your cat isn't just a pet sitting on your rug. It's a living reminder of the primal noise that humanity is trying to outrun. We are trying to build machines that think like gods, but those gods are terrified of a 10-pound predator with a charged coat. Think about the implications for 2026. We are currently rolling out quantum-secured communication lines across the United States. These lines are touted as unhackable. But if a simple biological presence can collapse the wave function, then the entire grid has a massive, furry vulnerability. The static battery theory suggests that our reliance on quantum tech makes us more vulnerable to the natural world, not less. We are trading robust, analog systems for fragile, high-frequency lattices that can be shattered by a spark. The military-industrial complex is already looking at this as a denial-of-service opportunity. There are whispers of Acoustic Kitty 2.0, not using cats as microphones, but using them as decoherence triggers. In a world where the enemy relies on quantum calculation to guide their missiles, a well-placed static battery could shut down the entire offensive without firing a shot. It is the ultimate low-tech solution to the world's highest-tech problem. The next time you see your cat's fur stand on end during a dry winter day, or you see that blue spark jump from their ear to your hand, remember what you're looking at. You aren't just looking at a household annoyance. You are looking at the ultimate countermeasure. You are looking at the reason the smartest people in the world lock their doors and triple shield their basements. The static battery is charged. The qubits are trembling. And the only thing standing between us and total quantum control is the flick of a tail in the dark. The protocol is active. And for the first time in history, the most powerful machines on Earth are hiding from the most common animal in your home. The question is, what else are they hiding from? And how much longer can we keep the static out?